me go so loco, loco, make me go crazy. We would make a beautiful baby. Knock on wood, is you trying to date me? Is it you?
Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. It is Yasmin here. If you hear that noise, my boyfriend's here, one. And two, Rosie is watching Strawberry Shortcake. She loves Strawberry Shortcake. Which kind of makes me want to do her birthday theme as like my very first birthday. But her birthday is also in fall. It's literally 3 days before mine. Or after mine. 3 days after mine. Oh my gosh. So I don't know if I want to do my little pumpkin is turning 1. My princess is turning 1. Or my very first birthday. In the comments down below, let me know which ones you would do for your daughter's first birthday. Or if like what you think would be best. As you guys can see from the title below, I'm gonna do a story time about how this one girl, not gonna mention no names, screwed me and my boyfriend over, but mainly screwed me over when we were living not at this apartment but at the other apartment. So if you guys want to hear that tea, go get your drink, go get your snacks, and then come back. I'll wait for you guys. Okay, you guys back? Good. Just turning on my straightener here. Oh, well, I wait for this to heat up because I think it's just heating up. I think it's supposed to be heating up. But while it heats up, I'll go ahead and I guess I'll do my makeup while it's heating up. I'm just gonna do a quick natural look today because it's just a run errands day. Nothing too special, just a run errands day. But okay, on to the story time. So obviously you guys know I was pregnant last summer. It was around, I think May is when we had our gender reveal. And I was trying to help, my girly out or whatever. So I let her, originally she was just going to stay for the gender reveal, right? She was just going to stay the night over so she could help me with the gender reveal. Well, that ended up taking a turn. She asked me if she could stay a little bit longer. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem, like whatever you need to do. And then her staying a couple days turned into staying a couple months. And so I was like, okay, like now you have to like pitch in something, because obviously I'm about to be a mom. Like money's really tiring now because I'm trying to save money for my baby and just stuff like that. Well, she ended up bringing 2 other people with her. And I told them that they could all stay if they showed me that they were putting an effort into getting their own place and that they would just be doing what they're supposed to do, helping me out, while also helping themselves out with like getting a job and all that stuff, which they told me they would. So obviously I'm a nice person. I'm not gonna be like, get the heck out of my house. Well, that backfired on me. So basically, how do I want to word this? At first, they were showing me that they were actually trying, and then they showed me that they weren't starting to try. And so I didn't ask any of them to leave because I was expecting them to just like keep trying because I didn't want to kick them out because they seemed like they didn't have anywhere else to go at the time. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to kick them out. I'm just going to like try to talk to them. So I tried to talk to them. And the 2 other people that she brought with her, they were pretty understanding of it. The girl that I tried to help out at the beginning, she didn't like my rules. She didn't like that I was telling her that she should get a job. She just didn't like what I was telling her. And so eventually she just like left. I didn't know she was going to leave. Like I thought she was going to come back and she just never came back. So I was like, oh, okay. Like I even got this girl a whole job and she only went her orientation day and 1 day after that. And that made me look bad because everybody was like, well, where's this girl that you like supposedly said that was going to work here with you? And I was like, I don't know. Like, she never told me where she was going. And so, like, when she would miss her shifts, they would tell me to text her. So I would text her and she would, like, be like, oh, well, you know, she would just always have an excuse. And so I don't know if her excuses were true. If they were, you know, I hope everything, you know, works out for her in the long run. But it just made me look really bad. So I was like, honestly, I told them, I was like, honestly, I just wouldn't even put her on the schedule anymore. Like, I would just fire her because she's not being reliable. Like, I'm sorry I even introduced you guys to her. Like, I thought she was actually trying for herself, but apparently she wasn't. So there is that. But yeah, I don't, why isn't this streamer? 350. But yeah, she just, to me, she wasn't trying for herself. So I was like, you know what, I'm not even gonna worry about you. I'm not gonna do it. Like, you do you. So she leaves, right? And then obviously she didn't pay me what she said she was gonna pay me for staying there because she didn't have a job. And to the best of my knowledge, she didn't have any money to just give me like that, which, you know, is kind of sad and on her part. But I was really like, I needed the money because at that time I was pregnant. I couldn't work. Like, I couldn't even do lashes anymore. Like, it was literally just my boyfriend's income. So we really needed the money because obviously with them staying there, our bills ran up more than they would have just been if it was just me and him. So yeah, so the bills ran up and we were in need of the money or whatever. And so she left her air fryer there, which I didn't even know was hers because the girls that were staying with her, they stayed a little bit after she left. And they said that was their air fryer. So I was like, okay, bet. So when they left, I was like, okay, well, let me try to sell this air fryer because me and AJ don't need it. And I put it on, I think, Snapchat story or whatever. I can look back at it. But I think I put it on Snapchat story. And said person, the first person that I let come over, she swiped up and she was like, you're really going to sell my air fryer? It's like, first off, I didn't know it was your air fryer. Second off, your friends told me it was their air fryer and they didn't pay their portion of the rent either. And she was like, well, they were telling me that they were paying me for lashes. Yeah, discounted rate. And that discount and the money that they were paying me for lashes, yes, was going to part of a bill, but it wasn't even compared to nearly as much as they owed me for staying there. Like, we already had like a whole discussion about how much they needed to pay for each month that they were staying there. And I'll tell you right now, the amount that they each were supposed to pay for them staying there, literally, the girls paying for their lashes at that discounted rate wouldn't even add up to one person living there. Like, it just didn't. So eventually those two girls left. Well, when they left, my wallet was missing, and my wallet had like $300 in there. My cards was gone. Everything was gone. I thought I just misplaced it at first. Like, I really thought I just misplaced it. That thing was nowhere to be found in my apartment. We moved a month later, and we tore that apartment apart. Like, we literally packed everything that was in that apartment, threw everything that was trash away. All the furniture that we weren't bringing to this apartment, we took as well. Like, it was not found. Not even after the fact that, not even after we moved, we still didn't find it. So I'm over here just like, okay, well, my wallet's gone. They left. They didn't say anything to me when they left. They just kind of came, used the restroom, left, never came back. And also, I remember I left my wallet in that restroom the night before, which was a rookie mistake. If you have people living with you, always put your stuff hidden. Like, all your, always have all your, like, if anything that has money, any important documents, always keep them hidden because stuff like this does happen. And I was mad, because now not only am I short the money that they were supposed to give me that month, but now I'm also short $300 for rent because that $300 that I had saved up from my lash money was going to go into rent that month. So I was short that, and I was short a lot of other things, and I was just really, 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 really just upset. So I text them and I'm like, hey, like, the two girls. I texted two girls. I'm like, hey, Are you guys still gonna give me the money that you guys said? Like, are you guys planning on coming back? The reason I knew they weren't coming back is because of the fact that they took all of their stuff that they had. So they had like a whole bucket of laundry. They took that. I think they also took some of my clothes. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because the thing is I had bought in new clothes for when I was first pregnant. So everything still fit me when I was first pregnant, because obviously you don't grow your big bump until like towards the end of your pregnancy. So when I was first pregnant, I still bought some clothes because I wanted to look cute, you know, and I got it from Shein. But it was like these little jumpers sets. They were really cute. I'll put a picture of what they look like. That's what they look like. I loved them. It was a 3-piece set. It was a black, light blue, and I think a light brown one, like a coffee brown. They were adorable. I loved them. They were nowhere to be found after they left. So I think they also took that. And mind you, when they came back, I didn't think anything of it. They didn't even say hi to me when they came back. They just kind of like, they both went into the restroom. And then they both came out of the restroom. And then I just hear the door close. And I'm like, okay. I was like, that's messed up. You can't even tell the person that's letting you stay there, like, bye or hi. Like, that's kind of messed up. So I, like, go to the living room to see if they're still there. Like, I thought maybe they just forgot to close the door because I was going to say hi. No, they were gone. Their stuff was gone. And I was like, okay, well, that's great. So then I go to use the restroom. And my wallet's not there. So I'm like, okay. So then I text them and give them the opportunity to be like, oh, yeah, we took it. Or we know who took it or something. Like, just trying to get some information out. I go into the bathroom, my wallet's not there. I text them and I'm like, hey, do you know where my wallet's at? Like, it was in the bathroom before you guys, like, came and took your stuff. Like, do you guys know where it's at? And they're like, no, we don't know where it's at. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I mean, even if they did take it, I'm not getting it back. Like, I'm just not. There's no way that they're just gonna be like, oh yeah, we took it. Let me just give it back to you. I was like, whatever, it's gone. I was really mad. I was really livid, but I ended up making it work. I just did a lot of, even though I wasn't supposed to, I did a lot of lash sets for $15 that week, and I just like got the money back. But it was just like sad that like I can't. Like, now I can't even let people, like, stay with us for a long period of time because so many people screwed us over. And back to the whole air fryer thing. So she texted me. She's like, well, it's actually my air fryer, so I'm going to need it back. And I said, no. I said, you can get it back when you pay me the money that you're supposed to pay me for staying here. And she was like, well, I was going to give you money, but then Jasmine, which was the manager at the time at Bath and Body Works that we were working at, she was like, well, she told me that the Bath and Body Works card was sent to your house and I never got it, so I thought you just used that money. I said, first off, you didn't get no Bath and Body Works card here, so that's how I know you're lying. First off. Second off, I wouldn't even be able to access your pay card without knowing your social, and I don't know your social, so that's funny. And she was like, well, I don't have the money right now. I told you I would pay you back later. To me, she was just making excuses to not pay me. Because, one, her friends, I wouldn't even... Honestly, if I had people like that in my life, I wouldn't even call them friends. But her so-called friends literally told me that guys send her money all the time. So I'm like, how are you sitting here telling me that you don't have the money to pay me back, but yet you're going out partying and buying all these bottles and going out like late nights or whatever. And I'm seeing this all on her Snapchat story. Like, how are you telling me that you don't have the money? $100. That's all I was asking was $100. $100. You don't have $100 to give to me for the time that I let you stay here, use my water, use my electric, use all this. But yet you have $100 to buy a $100 bottle. Make it make sense. So then I was like, you know what, whatever, like, you're not getting your air fryer back unless, you know, I get the money that you were supposed to give to me, and if it sells before then, it sells before then. And she's like, well, then you're just gonna have to take it up with my crazy mom. And I was like, okay. I was like, is that a threat? Like, I mean, let's be real, your mom don't know where I live, you know where I live, and if you come up to my house without my permission, I'm not letting you in. And if you try breaking yourself in, I'm gonna call the cops. That's just plain and simple. And she was like, you really want it to get like that, Jasmine? Mind you, I'm pregnant at this time. I was like, let it get like that. She's like, really? She's like, really? That's how you're going to be? Remember, you're pregnant. I was like, I know I'm pregnant, so I know you're not going to do anything. And if you do try something while I'm pregnant, I mean, the cops will get involved. Like, I'm not really tripping over you at all. And it was just kind of like, she's like, well, catch me when you drop. I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, nothing's going to happen because I was like, nah, because I don't, I was funny. I was like, nah, because I don't take out trash. I was like, I don't. One, I'm not a fighter. If you guys know me, I don't fight. I don't even like confrontation most of the time. I'm not that type of person. I'd rather just let it go and just let it resolve itself. But I was pregnant. My hormones were crazy. And I was upset. I was mad because I got screwed over. And now I was about to lose my apartment, even though I, only had a month living there. Like, if I got evicted, that would have been bad because then this place could have rejected me. A lot of other apartments could have rejected me. And so I was really just scared that if I lost and got evicted from that apartment, it would be over for me. Like, I wouldn't be able to do anything for myself. And that's just something I didn't want to happen. So after that, I was just kind of like, whatever. Like, I'm just over it. I'm over the situation. And then she tried coming for my kid, like my unborn child. She was like, you called DFS on me, and that's why I left, and this and this and that. I was like, DFS? I was like, first off, how you raise your child is how you raise your child. I'm never going to come for a parent on how they raise their child. I might not like what they do, and I might not like how they raise their kid, but I'm never going to come at you and be like, you're a bad mom, so I'm going to call DFS on you so that way your child can get taken away from you. No, because that's not my job. My job is not... Now, if I saw a lot of like the baby's bleeding or they're like, it's like a life or death situation, then yeah. But if it's not a life or death situation, how you raise your kid is how you raise your kid. I might not like how you raise your kid, but at the end of the day, that's not my kid. The only person that I have to care about and worry about how they're being watched, how they're being raised is my kid. So she tried coming for me saying that I called DFS on her or whatever. And I was like, I did not call DFS on you. I was like, maybe it was the girls that were staying here that they called DFS on you, but I didn't. She tried to say that she had a private investigator that found out that I was the one that called DFS on her. Again, I did not call DFS on her. It's not my responsibility to do that. And so I just kind of was like, what? And then she was like, my kid's taken care of, like this and this and that. I don't know why you called DFS on me. I was like, I didn't call DFS on you. This girl was tripping, but she was. And then the freaking she had her, what's it called? I think it was it her? I think she had someone's ashes at my house, and I was like, okay, I texted her. I was like, if you want them, you need to come get them before we move, because once we move, they're gonna go to AJ's mom's house, because we just I'm not gonna be carrying somebody else's person's ashes around every single house that I go to. I'm just not. So I told her that they were gonna be there. Well, the situation came up where she wanted her person's ashes back, and I was like, okay. I was like, well, like I told you, they're at AJ's mom's house. And she was like, she told her two girls that were staying there that I told her that I gave the ashes to her. And so those two girls text me, and I wasn't going to be bringing them from apartment to apartment. And she never came for them. Same thing with the pack and play. Her mom had bought her a pack and play, and I was moving, and so I told her, when is she planning on coming to get her pack and play? She didn't give me a time. She didn't give me an estimate. So the day came that we were moving, and I just left it there on the curb. So if somebody picked it up, somebody picked it up. If somebody didn't pick it up, then it's probably still there, or it's probably in the trash. I literally told her, when are you planning on coming? She tried to tell me that I just kept things from her, and this and this and that. And I was like, none of that's true. I was like, literally none of that is true, because if I did do that, that would make me a horrible person, because I already knew that she was struggling. I don't know if she's still struggling, but I mean, I do what's best for my kid, and that's all that matters to me, because my kid is what comes first. Always. My kid is always what's going to come first before anyone. Like, literally anyone. And that's just how that's going to go. Because I just don't have the time for it. Okay, it looks really harsh on camera, but I promise you it's not that harsh. Well, maybe it is a little harsh. But I always do it harsh on my skin, and then I always go over it with like a foundation. So that way it'll neutralize out. But yeah, that's the story time of that. She literally threatened to like fight me while I was pregnant. And I was like, dude, it's not even worth it. Like, it's really not. So to this day, like, she still sends me streaks, and I send them back, but they're always black pictures with S's on them. I thought about blocking her because like, I don't need the drama in my life. And I don't really ever talk to her either. Especially since I have my kid to worry about now. I just don't talk to her anymore, but yeah. That was thing. Like, I helped her get through a lot. I helped her, like, I was supposed to help her, but you know, some people just don't want your help, and if they don't want your help, there's nothing you can do but like accept it and move forward. If they don't want your help, there's nothing you can do but just like not help them, because at the end of the day, your sanity is what's most important. But yeah, that's the story time about that. Let me know what other story times you guys want, or if you have any questions. But just due to like the safety, or not safety, but just due to like not wanting them to be like exposed, like if you know, you know, but if you don't, if you don't know, you don't know, and you're not gonna know who it is. But if you do know, don't say nothing, because I just don't want that drama. Okay, new topic. I am obsessed with this vanity. If you guys haven't seen the Build My Vanity With Me video, go check it out. It's literally the one underneath this one. I'll probably link it in the bio below so you guys can check it out. This is day 2 of having it. What's it called? That was my mom. She just texted me. Because I really want Go Chicken Go. And the closest one to me is literally like UMKC, which is like just as far as the one in Argentina. So I'm just like, she's closer to one. So I was like, you're coming over today, right? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, can you bring me some Go Chicken Go? I love Go Chicken Go. With postpartum, like, I wasn't like, there would just be good days and bad days. There would be some days where I was like, I hate my body, I hate the way I look. Then there's like days where I'm like, oh my gosh, I look like a bad bitch. But it just wasn't like that for a while. I didn't want to get up and get myself ready. I was really lazy, and I was like, what do I need to do to actually like want to get up and want to get ready? And I like looked back into my teenage years. Obviously, I'm a mom, so obviously my kid's always going to come first. But I looked back into my teenage years, and I was like, I think what always made me happy was getting up and like doing my makeup and just enjoying the getting ready with me process, and just like things like that. It made me actually want to get up and conquer the day. And so I think ever since I got my vanity, I got back to that state of mind. Like I said, it's just something a little natural today, not too dramatic. I do a little bit on the, like, as the eyeshadow for the thing, just to give like a natural glow. Nothing too crazy, just kind of a natural look for the day. It probably looks better. Okay. Here is the look for the day. It's just like a natural kind of glow. Thanks for listening to my story time. I gotta go take that one to work now. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Make me go so loco, make me go crazy. We would make a beautiful baby. Knock on wood, is you trying to date me? Is it?